Guys, Reed here. For our second video in the Tableau series, we thought we would run through the different types of data that can be displayed in Tableau and how they'll be impacting your final Tableau visualization. So again, we have opened up here the sample workbook World Indicators, which is provided as part of your Tableau subscription. So if we're looking over here at our data pane, you can see that there's two general sections, the dimensions and measures. So dimensions are types of data that are going to be either text, date, or a bin for a histogram. So in the world indicators data set, the dimensions that Tableau has identified are 2 for thresholding or bins in histograms, countries, clusters for ease of business, regions, and years. Measures, on the other hand, are types of data that math can be performed to, including being added up and summed, something like population total. If you want to add up the total population for Africa instead of just the individual countries which have been identified, that'd be possible. Averaged, for instance, if you want to know the average GDP of countries in the Americas, counted, or having a max and min. So if you want to know which country had the maximum life expectancy for females versus the minimum, these are all things that you can do with dimensions. Just one thing to note is that Tableau will generally be able to go through and break up your data into these categories. However, if you're unhappy with how it's done, you are able to change your data into the alternative. So if it's a measure, you can change it to a dimension or vice versa. Now, the other two ways Tableau is going to break up your data is into discrete versus continuous data, and this is actually what the color of the pill is going to be identifying for us. So as you can see here, as I hover over year, it is a blue pill, and that tells us that right now in its default, Tableau is treating year as discrete data. Now what this tells us is that in this setup, when we put this into a visualization, we'll have years broken up by panes, which are these gray lines here. Continuous data, on the other hand, is going to be displayed in a continuous unbroken pane, and when displayed, it'll have a color gradient. So if we look at this visualization that Tableau has provided for us, as you can see here, country is currently a discrete data type, and that's why we have a line between every different country in our visualization. Whereas year, on the other hand, is being treated as continuous data, which is why we have a continuous line up through here. So if we wanted to have year be our color, we could again drag it in and mark it as color. And right now, year here is blue, which is why we have separate colors for each year. However, if we switched it over to continuous, you're going to see a line that's steadily darkening, and that tells us that it is now continuous. The way that you have your data set up will be impacting your visualization, and so if you see panes between different years and you're unhappy with that, just try switching it over to continuous and you might be more happy with the result. If you have any questions, please feel free to call or text. Thanks, guys.